We just got our first guest jumped on the show. We got Charles and Alaska Xavier on the show. And I want to obviously wish you guys a good morning and introduce you to our audience. How are you? Charles, you sound like you got a UK accent, my friend.
Yes, I'm from the UK. I'm from the north of England, from a place called Leeds.
All right.
Okay, so what we do is we run a holistic health company, which we put together around 5 years ago. We actually created an intestinal cleansing system from our kitchen in Las Vegas. Actually, it was my wife's idea, and I hated it at first, but now I'm kind of entangled in it because it's just such a great product. And what we did was create an intestinal cleansing product that actually cleanses the intestines. It gets rid of toxins from the intestines, heavy metals that we can pick up from environmental pollutants, even things like radiation that we can pick up. Again, it's kind of environmental radiation, and things like wireless devices and things like that we have around us all the time. We can pick up radiation from that too. And fundamentally, what we're trying to educate people on is that all disease actually begins, first of all, in the gut. Now, Hippocrates said this 2,500 years ago. Hippocrates is known as the father of modern day medicine. He was also a philosopher, an ancient Greek philosopher. And if the disease begins in the gut, then the root of all of our issues that develop actually start off in the gut. So we are pretty much the only company out there right now that is solely focusing on gut health. Now, how can this help athletes? Well, athletes have got bodies just like everybody else, so we deal with the general public. Mm-hmm. However, athletes will have very, very good diets. Obviously, they're going to be, exercising a lot and training, etc. But they're still going to be exposed to the same things that everybody else is exposed to, such as environmental pollutants and things like that. And also on their off seasons, they're out enjoying themselves. They might be drinking, lots of extracurricular activities and things like that. So, everybody generally has a buildup of toxicity within their system. Now, if you're not intestinal cleansing, then it's just like saying that you've never taken a shower before. Now, how dirty would you be if you've never ever taken a shower in your entire life? Now, the interesting thing about intestinal cleansing is that, number one, it was practiced by all of the indigenous cultures around the world and still is, such as the American Indians, for instance, and they use certain types of clays to get rid of the toxicity within their system. Toxicity is actually within nature. There is naturally forming toxins within the natural world. And animals also use certain types of clays to cleanse their systems as well. Otherwise, they would die from these naturally forming toxins, mm-hmm. Which is really super interesting. Another thing that I'll hand over to my wife in just a second is something called mucoid plaque as well. So I'll allow my wife to explain that.
Okay, so mucoid plaque. Many of us have a natural lining in our intestines. It's just a mucus lining, which helps the gut flora and the peristalsis to help move, bacteria and the feces along the way. But over time, when we're eating, unhealthy and being exposed to everything that my husband had talked about, it starts to build up and become a hardened layer of plaque. This is where the disease and intestinal parasites come in, and many organ failures start to become, apparent and a part of this process of the buildup of mucoid plaque. Also, weight gain. You're not able to shred like a lot of boxers need to be able to shred and prepare for their fights. So sometimes it takes them a lot longer because they're consuming certain things that also add to the buildup of the the mucus lining that turns into plaque. It can promote disease, it can promote eczema, it can promote lack of weight loss, but it can also increase and retain the water retention. So it can hold on to a lot of water when it comes to the weigh-in and guys have to really drop. cleansing will actually help them remove a lot of excess water weight, just to get on that scale beforehand as well. But the other thing that happens is when you're passing the mucoid plaque, when it passes through your system, it's collecting along the way any of those toxins, any of those intestinal parasites, disease and illness, and it pulls it out of your system, unclogging dehydrated fecal matter, which a lot of us today actually have dehydrated fecal matter in our bodies, in our colon, and in our large intestines, dated back to our childhood. So a lot of people don't know that. So there are the most fit people out there that don't realize that, they actually have this in them. And if you notice that there are fit people out there that have just dropped and died out of nowhere. And then once there's an autopsy done, they find out that there's a clutter of dehydrated fecal matter and the disease and illness and toxins that have just been left unanswered, untreated. So what happens is when you're passing the mucoid plaque, it's pulling and relieving those areas and unclogging the portals in your intestines to allow for proper nutrition, proper absorption of the vitamins that many boxers need to absorb, and a lot of the vitamins that the boxers take, which is quite a bit. It will move a lot of stuff around and unplug those portals to allow for penetration. When you pass mucoid plaque, it comes out as a rubbery rope, kind of resembling the shape of your intestines. So this isn't a normal, this isn't a normal bowel movement, if you will. It's actually a mucus plaque rope, and you can actually look it up online and look up what mucoid plaque is, and it shows you the ropes hanging. People hold them. I've held them. I've showed people, and it's actually all the toxins not all of them, but a lot of toxins and intestinal parasites and things that cause us illnesses that can actually impair a fighter from doing their job, really being active, really being effective in the ring.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
And just kind of tail off on that explanation. One of the most important aspects of an athlete is their mindset, is their state of mind. And there's a really interesting relationship between the gut and the brain. And actually, when we're all forming as embryos in the womb, the gut and the brain actually started forming from the same clump of tissue. These are, in fact, the first two parts of the embryo that actually start to form. And what happens is then the gut kind of slides down, and then the rest of the baby starts to form around it. Well, there's an intimate connection between the gut and the brain, because the gut has its own complex nervous system. So it's actually a brain unto itself. That's been scientifically recognized as well, that the gut is actually a brain. It has lots and lots of millions and millions of neurons. And if your gut is toxic, it will affect your state of mind. So it can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, it can actually even cause things like schizophrenia as well, in very, very extreme cases, because the toxicity within the gut, what the gut is doing, it's crying out to the brain for help. And then it's affecting the brain too. And the brain becomes sick as a consequence of that as well. But the three main organs in the body are the brain, the heart, and the gut. All three are recognized as brains unto themselves because they have their own complex nervous systems, and they all work in unison with each other. And what we're trying to do is bring about the complete equilibrium of those three brains within the body to then maximize potential. Maximize physical potential, maximize biological potential in terms of how the body works, and also maximize mental potential as well.
And break the myth that plant-based lifestyle is not effective for athletes when it actually is. It's very effective for athletes. Think of the biggest animal out there. The largest animals out there, what do they eat? They're vegetarians. They're vegans, pretty much. They're plant-based.
So, is this something? I remember when I met you, you were with Sean and Ken Porter and working with them at the time. Has Sean or Ken tried this particular program that you have?
No, actually, I started this after. Well, we started this after I had left the Porter camp. The Sean Porter camp.
So have
he
you
knows
worked,
about it though.
have
He
you
knows
worked
about
with
it.
any fighters, and have they used this program yet?
Yes, we worked with fighters, and we worked with actually recently a country singer as well. So we work with celebrities, but as far as telling which celebrities we can't, we're not at liberty right now until until they talk about it. Then that's when we can talk about it.
So is it a product that's one takes, or is this a program that you physically have to go through?
It's both. It's both. So it's a product and a program. The process of intestinal cleansing is quite complicated, and it took us a lot of research to actually develop this. So what we developed first of all is a kit, is a cleansing kit. So inside of the kit, you have various different types of products. We have a product called VBang, which is a volcanic clay. It's actually made from volcanic ash. We hydrate it with pH water and certain Himalayan minerals as well to enhance its healing properties. We also have another product which we call vFlex, which is a fiber complex. It's actually made from psyllium husk, which we import from India, which is the best psyllium husk that you can possibly buy. And it's fiber and passes through the body because that's what we want. Mm-hmm. The clay and the husk, we put those together and we make a shake out of them. And then that fundamentally is a part of a daily routine that you would drink these shakes. We have flavored them now, so you have a variety of different flavors to go with it as well. Mm-hmm. And really one of the most complex aspects of everything that's inside of the kit is our V-greens, which is herb capsules. Each herb capsule contains 41 nutrient-dense superfoods in each capsule, and actually is the only type of its kind on the market today. It's all been custom formulated by us. And you would effectively take those products on a specific regimen, but it changes week by week. Then we give you a specialized diet plan as well, which is all raw vegan, no cooked foods whatsoever. So you're getting 100% of the nutrients inside of the body. And then at the same time, we will educate you as well. So we really truly believe that not only are we taking a person through this process, but at the same time, we're also arming them with the knowledge to be able to self-medicate. Mm-hmm. And that's effectively what we've done now for thousands of people all over the world, is we have helped them reduce or reverse very, very serious health conditions through cleansing and through a plant-based lifestyle.
So when you say plant-based, are you providing meals for these fighters, or would you be providing meals for the fighters in that 8-week training camp? Because I know Tim Bradley, who's very popular and a former world champion, he would always go vegan specifically and only for fight camp. So is that something you guys are doing as well?
That's something that we're actually moving towards, is having a camp. Right now we're in Sardinia, Italy, and that's where we were scoping the land at to provide the camps.
You guys are in Italy?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How's the pandemic over there?
Huh?
How's the pandemic over there? Are you guys in lockdown, or is it a little bit open?
No, we're open.
Okay.
It's open. It's called I guess color white. It's a tier color white. So that means everything's open. Mainland Italy is the one that keeps going up and down and having problems. But we're an island off of the mainland of Italy. So we're right above Sicily.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very beautiful out here.
So you were going to say something before I...
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you're familiar with Dr. Sebi and Nipsey Hussle, the journey that they were on, and the people that they were helping. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of athletes that they helped. There were a lot of celebrity singers and artists that they helped. The same path, almost the same path that Dr. Sebi's on, is pretty similar to what our company does. to help people. The only thing that we can't do is, what he was doing was, saying the word cure or other words that, the government deems illegal to say. But it's definitely right along those lines. And what we do is literally help, everybody, not just athletes, but we help everybody to promote a healthy intestines. Because if you think about it, without your intestines or your colon, you're dead. And that's where the source of disease is. That's been the biggest saying for years, which is, brought up by Hippocrates, talks about it, Dr. Sebi talks about it. Remove the mucus and you remove the disease.
But just to answer your question, in terms of the meal plan, that's what we provide. So effectively, when you get your cleanse kit, you open it up, there's a leaflet in there, you scan a QR code, and that automatically then downloads a specialized diet plan to your smartphone. And then you would then go out and you would buy those ingredients. And then we have a menu there with instructions of how to make everything. So we provide everything from the kit to the knowledge and the support to the actual diet itself as well.
So obviously being in Italy, you guys have to have some sort of online course or physical package that you deliver. So where could anybody interested for more information, where do they go?
They would go to vPhaseBodyCleanse.com. vPhase is spelled vPhase, vPhaseBodyCleanse.com. And it's an e-commerce store. You can go on there and you can buy the products on our e-commerce store. Everything is manufactured and shipped from Florida in the US.
Oh wow!
So we manage the business from here in Italy. However, our manufacturing is in Florida. We take care of everything from beginning to end.
Yep.
So there's no third-party hands whatsoever involved in this. We develop the product ourselves. We manufacture it ourselves. We ship it ourselves. Everything is done by us. So you can order a product and then you can actually join a Facebook group as well, where you can actually get the support and the guidance in the Facebook group. However, when you actually download your menu and your shopping list, inside of there is the instructions of what to do as well. So you have your schedule and everything in there. However, you also get access to our coaching community. So we have something called the vPhase Clinic, which is every Monday at 12 p.m. EST, where we're actually coaching and we're providing knowledge and tips and things like that, helping people actually through their cleanse. So everything is digital, everything is online. We do this for, over the past 5 years, we've done this for thousands of people all over the world. But for us, it's the support that people need, because the process is a little bit different to other cleanses. And also, we really truly believe in educating people at the same time, because nobody can ever take that away from you. Once you've got that knowledge, nobody can ever take it away. So if there was ever an issue, a gut issue or another issue in the body, the first thing that you should do is always cleanse first. And that is the kind of the process of elimination that you go through, because you can ask yourself, well, where did this disease or ailment come from? Came from the gut. You've got poor gut health. That's why it's actually developing in the first place. The toxins are seeping through the walls of the intestines into the rest of the body and affecting the surrounding organs and even the brain itself. So that is fundamentally what we do. You order online, you get all of your coaching and training online, and you obviously get your digital package, which is your menu and your specialized meal plan as well.
Yeah, I think in this in most of the sports, professional sports world or athletes world, a lot of this is overlooked. Because a lot of athletes are used to, the basic meals, the meat or the rice and specific vegetables and whatnot. And that's great and everything. But if you think about it, there's a lot of nutrients when it comes to, earth products, seeds, herbs, vegetables. And the biggest myth is, where do I get my protein from? So I like the fact that you actually brought up the gentleman that goes vegan right before, or plant-based right before, deciding to go into a fight. That's exactly, how it should be. But we're not militant. We don't tell people that they're doing it the wrong way. We actually educate and guide. I think that's the most important with a lot of athletes. And because they don't have a lot of time, we do deal with athletes and the celebrities on the side on a one-on-one level if they want that, because some people don't want to be in I guess a group of other individuals. So that's there if anybody was wondering if we do one-on-one coaching. We actually do.
Well, you gave me a whole bunch of information. I actually had so many questions, but you answered a bunch and actually educated me. I'm pretty sure that everyone that was listening to can reach out. Do you have any social media or anywhere that they can get more information and get to know what vPhase is all about?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. The best place to go to get all of the information is actually on the website. So you can go to vphasebodycleanse.com. Mm-hmm. There's lots of information on there. We have a chat feature on the website as well, where we've got a team of trained people that are trained to answer all of these specific questions as well. But there's lots of information on there. We're also on Facebook. You can search for us on Facebook under our new page, which is the Cleanse Gurus. Mm-hmm. So you can look for the Cleanse Gurus on Facebook. That's a relatively new page that we set up. We're also on Instagram.
Under vPhase Body Cleanse.
Under vPhase Body Cleanse, as well as YouTube as well under vPhase Body Cleanse. We've got loads and loads and loads of content on YouTube as well.
All right, we got a few questions. We have a pro boxer from Minnesota, Marlon So Icy Sims, in the chat. He wants you to give the address, your URL for the website one more time.
Yeah, it's vphasebodycleanse.com. So you spell vPhase, it's just a V, PHASE, then bodycleanse.com. vphasebodycleanse.com.
All right. Well, we want to thank you, obviously, for coming on, and we wish you the best. I want to see some fighters, obviously, take advantage of not only the knowledge but the program. I know making weight is one of the biggest difficulties for most fighters.
It's the first fight.
But again, if you look up Timothy Bradley, I mean, obviously, a lot of that had to do with genetics. But he was definitely the body of a god going vegan. And there's a bunch of other fighters. We usually have a co-host who lives vegan, but he's not on today. He's from the West Coast. But we will get you guys. I am
one. I'm right here.
Now you want to extend it now. He got on late, but this guy's been doing vegan and talking this lifestyle for so long. The both of them, actually. Doomy has been vegan for more than a year, but he went back. He went back to being
I went back to steak.
There is no going back.
It got you.
It got me.
No going back. I'm sorry I came on late, Ness. I got a fighter I'm training right now, and when their fighters come, they live with me, and I cook all their meals like vegan. I cook all vegan, whole foods. I'm alkaline vegan, so I follow the path of Sebi. I got my fighters taking sea moss. We take lion's mane. We take reishi. We got like different herbs that we take. Burdock and dandelion root, get off the excess water weight. A lot of those like different herbs that are labeled in the book. We also, it's just different stuff, and I really just cook all the meals, and it's something that I'm into because I became vegan, and I seen my body transform, and I'm 40 years old. So once I became vegan, my body started to shrink down, and I started to look more ripped, like how he said Tim Bradley looked every day. And I was like, I think this is the way for me, and I'm not going to say it's for everybody because I've studied the vegan diet down all the way to individuality and body type. So it depends on, what body type a person is. And it's a little work up front. And I just really commend you two for doing the work alongside with, other people who try to do this, because it is very hard to get someone to understand that eating is a way of life, and you can actually make your brain work better if you eat better, because everything is about nervous system. So if your nervous system is working the best, your gut will be working the best, because your gut and your brain is the same nervous system. So
absolutely.
So when you know those things, I never went back, and I understand that it takes life to sustain life. So I'm trying to get Ness to come to the other side, but he's scared.
I'm
Come
already,
on, Ness.
I'm already losing too much weight, man. I interview all these heavyweights, and you know, like for instance, Deontay Wilder is like 230 on his best day, and I'll be 250 right next to him, looking way thinner than him. So if I go vegan, I'm gonna disappear. I'm pretty sure.
Now, a fun fact about cleansing is you don't lose weight unless your body needs to lose weight. And another thing that I wanted to say is when it comes to like the sea moss, the black seed oil, and many of those other great
Definitely black seed oil. Definitely.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said definitely black seed oil. I forgot that one.
Yeah, and so what I want to say about that is a lot of people don't realize that, if you're clogged up inside your intestines and your colon and you have all this mucus build up in there, and, how are you supposed to receive and absorb the nutrients and the vitamins and all the healing agents from those things? So this is why we chose to incorporate, cleansing with many of the boxes, and we team up with a lot of people that deal with sea moss and black seed oil, because they realize that that's a fact. How can you absorb anything if there's loads of plugs in the way of your portals?
Yeah, and the focus mainly is on putting things into the body, but the focus is never on taking things out of the body. So it has to be a two-way street. Has to be give and take. So we have to be cleansing regularly, so around 4 times a year, to actually take away those toxins and some of those environmental pollutants like the heavy metals and the radiation that everybody will be exposed to, and also putting things in. So then that increases the nutrient absorption, but the extraction of the mucus, the calcified fecal matter, along with the toxicity and all of the environmental pollutants within the body, will then make way for that to enhance the biology within the body and how the body works. Interestingly, the gut actually governs over a lot of the serotonin regulation, so it governs over hormone regulation. 90% of the serotonin is produced in the gut, which is the happiness hormone. 50% of dopamine is produced in the gut as well, which is also a happiness hormone. So if your gut is toxic, if you're backed up, it's going to affect your mental health. It's going to affect your mind state. You're going to start having doubts. You're going to start to question yourself, etc. And you're not going to be firing on all cylinders. In terms of training, I currently now am cleansing. I eat next to nothing on a daily basis. I just graze. I can go out and train. I do calisthenic workouts. I'm about 180 pounds, really strong, really fit. I did 7 years in the special forces when I was younger, so fitness has been part of my life. And I can go out there on a handful of dates and some cashew nuts, and then go and train for an hour doing calisthenics every single day, no problems whatsoever. So it doesn't take anything away from you, it doesn't extract anything from you. It gives you energy. And it actually enhances the way that the body works massively.
Well, guys, I want to thank you once again, and we'll be looking forward to get you guys back on. But if you can, give out that social media one more time for anybody who's just joining us, can know where to follow you.
Absolutely. So on Instagram, it's vPhase Body Cleanse, so at vPhase Body Cleanse. And on Facebook, it's Cleanse Gurus, so the Cleanse Gurus. And you'll see us on there, on our website as well, www.vphasebodycleanse.com. And there's a chat feature if you want to speak to us. There's live people, and we're there for your answers.
Absolutely.
Your questions.
And you spell vPhase, VPHASE, vPhaseBodyCleanse.com.
Definitely gonna check.
Not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
All right, Charles and Alaska, Xavier, thank you so much, and we look to having you guys back on soon.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.